Do you want to finish the last two verses, 8 and 9, and then I'll do my part?
Yeah, I don't have specific notes there, but obviously they're pointing out, the Lord God of hosts, who is mighty as you are, and faithfulness. Again, that's a rhetorical question. And the following section describes more of what he's done, and nobody else has done like that. From verse 9 onwards, the description there reminds me of passages from other Psalms. It reminds me of Job. Where were you when I put a hook in the mouth of Leviathan? He's talking about ruling the raging sea, the waves that rise. That he scattered enemies with his mighty arms. It's that sort of a story and feeling to it, that he's making a comparison that God can do things and has done things that nobody else can do. And so this is the God that is standing in the council, and that's important. If you want to say more about that, I think it's important. And what I want to get to is that I think this gives us very great context for where the council is and the nature of it. I think if you pair Psalm 82 and Psalm 89, and this is what Dr. Heiser did, is that it becomes clear what the nature of the council is, or at least the primary nature of it. And we can wrap that up. But what I want to get to tonight before we close, even briefly, is that there is an element here of the promise to David that plays into the council as well. And before we finish tonight, I definitely want to touch on that.
Okay, so Alan Ross says for verse 8 in Psalm 89, and so the psalmist repeats the rhetorical question in verse 8, only now with the addition of hosts and might. The address is to, O Lord of armies or hosts. So even for Alan Ross, who is not maybe completely on the same page with Heiser or Golden Gate, when it comes to Psalm 82 in everything, when it comes to Psalm 89, there's no confusion who are these host of heaven beings. And the last comment for today is back to John Goldingay. He says, in introducing the restated question and the further two-line statement describing Yahweh as Yahweh, God of armies, underlines the point in verses 6 and 7, especially as the divine beings are themselves the heavenly army. And then he's cross-referencing with Joshua 5, 14, 15, 1 Kings 22, 19, Nehemiah 9, 6, and Isaiah 24, 21.